What's up, world? Welcome back to another episode of the Gabe Einhorn Show, where I sit down with top entrepreneurs, athletes, and creators to learn how they got started, how they got to the top, and what it really takes to win. So you can go out and do it too and realize that you can do whatever you want if you truly put your mind to it. Today I'm joined by one of the biggest players in the New York City Diamond District. He sold watches to people like Shaquille O'Neal, Pete Davidson, and David Dobrik. I'm here with the Watch King NYC.
Let's get into it. So social media has blown up around the Diamond District. There's tens of millions of followers. There's tens of millions of dollars flowing through here. When I'm coming into the Diamond District on 47th Street, why am I coming to the WatchKing NYC?
Wow, what a question already to start with, bro. Because we're upfront and honest. That's the only reason why. We teach, we say it how it is. We don't hide behind shades or something, whatever you want to call it, but straight to the point.
For sure. And run me through your backstory. How'd you even end up on the Diamond District?
It was exactly 17 years ago in March, end of March, so around this time. I was 22. And I didn't have a career, I didn't have a job, I don't know what to do. So I came here to do cold calls, for diamond guys. Yo, you wanna? And I was like a little like down about it. So I was walking down here, and my boy Gabby was like, "What's wrong?" I said, "Listen, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm 22. I have no money. I grew up Orthodox, Hasidic, Jewish, and then I left at 22. So I didn't have a job. I didn't have nothing. He's like, "You want to learn the watch business?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Bring me $50,000. I'll teach you the business." And here we are.
Wow. Okay. And run me through your childhood. So you grew up Hasidic.
Grew up in Queens. My dad's one of the biggest rabbis in the community. I grew up very sheltered. No TV, no internet, no sports, no music. I mean, like, not Jewish music, you know what I mean? Like back then it was Backstreet Boys and Sync and all that. We didn't know this. What's his name? Coolio, LL Cool J back in the day. We went to schools that are really, really, really like, it's like a prison, as you can say. I couldn't wear jeans, white shirt, black pants, and just study Torah all day. That's what we did.
Sure.
Then at 22, I said, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm out.
Okay. And then you got to the Diamond District. What was your first deal you ever did here?
Wow, I bought a watch from a guy named Drove. He was actually in my store, what was it, yesterday, Ralph, or 2 days ago? I bought an AP rubber clad for 11,000, sold it for 11,800 within an hour.
Oh, wow. So you made $800 on your first deal.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is what I'm gonna do for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Okay. And what was
that wasn't my dream. My dream was
Yeah.
to be a doctor.
Okay.
So I wanted to be a plastic surgeon. And I went to my dad. He's like, no, you're not gonna go to college. There's too much parties, drugs, and women, and you're gonna go become a rabbi. And that's what I did. I went to study in Israel, became a rabbi there.
Oh, wow. So you are a rabbi technically?
Not anymore. I mean, I don't study, but yeah, I got the certification, as they say. I was learning in the process, whatever.
For sure. And then what makes you guys different than everyone else on the block?
Oh, I mean, what makes us different? Been here for a while. I don't know. What makes us different? That's a question I never even thought of, to be honest with you.
What makes you guys stand out? I mean, you have
What makes us stand out is different. We educate, so we tell you how it is. So if you come to me, say, I want to buy, let's say this, I'll tell you why not to buy this and buy this. Why this one has, so some people want to buy, like, let's say, iced out Cartiers or iced out Rolexes. And I'll tell you, listen, don't buy it, because tomorrow you're going to lose half your money or all your money. And then if you still tell me I want it, then I'll say, okay, no problem. You can have it. But most of the times I try to steer them away from that direction, because eventually I feel bad. Tomorrow you're going to come. Imagine how you're going to feel if you buy an iced out watch from me. And tomorrow you're going to come sell it and you're going to get 20 cents on the dollar. You're like, this guy screwed me and I don't want that. So that's what I think is different between us and everybody else. We just educate. Try to educate, tell them what we think is right, and then they can decide what they want.
Okay, awesome. And who are the other big players on the block?
I'm going to drop names.
Yeah, some of your biggest competition.
Nobody's my competition.
You got no competition?
No.
Okay.
No.
And so who else are the big players on social media?
Social media, everybody's a big player.
Yeah.
The question is, who's a big player in real life? The biggest player in this industry, this guy's name is Bonera. He's like my role. He's my teacher. Like, not my teacher, he's my guy I look up to. Any advice before I make a big move, before I bought the store, I call him.
Okay.
He's a Croatian man. He's huge. He has inventory out of this world, and he's straight like an arrow. That's what you need.
Okay, so he's like your mentor.
Social media is a facade. Now, I'm going to say it, and I always say it. Don't believe everything you see all the fancy life and the fast cars, and each one saying how much money they make or whatnot. Just gotta be humble. That's the way I roll. I don't know the way everybody else rolls, and I don't care about anybody else, to be quite honest with you. So Eric is the biggest guy in our industry. He'll probably be upset that I'm talking about him, but I don't care. Eric is the biggest guy in our industry. He's smart. He's neutral. So any problems you have financially with other people, we go to him. Basically, you say he's like the Godfather, but on the DL, and you'll never see him on the street, and you never heard of him because he's the real deal.
Okay.
All right.
Sure. So he's like your mentor.
He's everybody's mentor. People won't admit it.
Okay. And how important?
He's the Godfather of his industry.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay. How important is it to have a mentor in life in an industry like this?
You need somebody who's gonna, like we have rabbis and by us, right? People have the Pope, the priest, the Imam, the rabbi, whatever. Everybody has somebody who they look up to or look for guidance. It's always better to hear somebody from the outside advising you, right?
Sure.
So,
okay,
that's what I believe in.
Yeah, and I've seen obviously some of your videos with Shaquille O'Neal, David Dobrik, Pete Davidson. Who's the coolest person that's ever been in your store?
You.
Yeah. I'll take it.
Coolest person ever been in my store. I had a 14-year-old kid come 3 days ago. No, last week for Squid Games. He stood out by me. He's 14. He's like, give me the most expensive watch and the hardest watch to sell that you have. That made me crazy. I was shocked. Out of the celebrities, they're all super nice.
Yeah.
Dobrik has big balls.
Yeah.
That's one thing I figured. I didn't think that when I decided to flip with him. Pete is super nice, like very down to earth, very outgoing, very emotional. He's nice. He cares about you. He's funny as hell. Yeah. Even off camera, he's funny as hell. He's hilarious. He makes everybody laugh, and he's very caring. Very. If I ever need him or something, he's there. If I have like questions about advice about social media or whatever, I'll ask him. Shaq was really nice. Shaq was really humble. Yeah. Really humble. Yeah, I saw that video. Very calm. He's like, didn't think he's all that. That's what I love about these people. 90% of celebrities are that way. Then you have the schmucks that everybody has, but most of them are always like cool.
Yeah. And who's like the biggest celebrity or person you ever sold a watch to?
I don't know if I can say it. I mean, I'll say it. I don't know. Dana White.
Okay. Pretty cool.
Dana White and Drake. I didn't meet Drake directly, but we sold a watch to Drake through one of his managers, whatever. But I never met him directly. And Dana White. That's like a guy I would like. Yeah. I want to become.
Have you gone to?
I've seen it. Yeah, I've gone to UFC. He called us for UFC 300. We went, and I saw him, and I almost melted because what he did, what he became. He took nothing and made it an empire. And he's super nice. Super nice. And we had a talk, and he didn't even like think he's all that. Like, people, he's a billionaire, he's famous. Super nice.
And what's the most expensive piece you've ever sold?
Wow. I sold an RM for $2.7 million. Wow. Don't ask me how much I paid for it. I'm not gonna say. Okay. I don't talk about how much I don't talk about how much money I make in a day. I don't believe in that shit. Like, I believe everything you keep it on the DL. That's my style. I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone doesn't.
Yeah.
And how much money do you think runs through the Diamond District on a daily basis? How much? Over 10 million? Over 100 million?
I don't know. I know a lot.
Yeah.
I know a lot. A lot of money. What social media did, guys like Trax, Moses, these guys, what they did is they helped revive the block. For sure. Right? Tyler was the first one with the fast flips, and then Moses the first one who was actually, what happened was, I used to have a small office on the 4th floor here. It was me and Zelman. And Moses used to come with social media and try to buy. And he would buy. And one time I was nothing. I was just a regular watch guy. I've been doing this forever. And I was just like doing my own business. And he's like, how much for this watch? We're negotiating for like $500. So why don't we just fucking flip for it, bro? Let's flip for $500. Nobody had it on camera, and I'll see it. I see it all the time. And car guys, we did it first. I'm talking about in the industry. I remember it was in January 2023. It was right before I started TikTok. And I said, why don't we just flip for the 500? I remember it was a Pepsi. If I'm not mistaken, it was an Oyster Pepsi.
This episode is brought to you by Smash House. If you're in the jewelry game, you know nothing can stop you from getting your next mazal. When you need a refuel, you need something that actually hits. That's where Smash House comes in. Smash House is serving up perfectly smashed burgers with crispy edges, juicy centers, and flavor that'll power you through the day. To find a location near you, look up smashhouseburgers.com. That is smashhouseburgers.com.
Well, let's flip for the 500, and that's what we did. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing it, and that's gonna be my catch. So we started flipping like that, and now it became.
It's crazy, yeah. Everybody does it now.
But I can say it, and I'm gonna say it with full confidence that me and Moses started this trend of flipping, not TikTok, because I was the last one of the last ones to come on. But we started flipping coins in the industry. I don't know about any other industry, in our industry, on camera. Yeah. But we did it on camera.
Okay, yes, sir.
And going back to Tyler, so I don't know if you saw that he got arrested last week.
Yeah, Tyler.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Someone like stole his identity and sold a watch.
They do to us too.
So how do you prevent something like that?
What are you gonna do? Unfortunately, the feds didn't do the right job by investigating. They held an innocent man for three days, doing nothing. But yeah, they do it every day. They come to our store. Oh, we just got scammed. I mean, look, I always say this: if it's too good to be true, all right, be careful. There's nobody selling a sub date that's worth $13,000 for $5K. And if you see that and you pay the money, it's on you. Well, there's nothing we can do. Our hands are tied. We call Meta. Meta's like, too bad. We tried. He passes all because some of them have blue check marks
on Instagram, and they just DM people and sell there.
Facebook is the hardest. Facebook is the craziest one. Facebook and TikTok.
Yeah, and there's not really any way to prevent it.
You try. You try as much as you can. You call, and there's nothing else you can do.
What's the craziest scam story you guys have faced?
Oh my God, I faced a scam. Last July, Sareem got for like $250,000 by some guy. He was coming to me that day. So me and my partner are driving home. And Reem calls my partner. He's like, oh, I have a customer. He wants to buy 2 RMs. So I was like $450. I said, okay, I'm going to send USDT. And we're ready to tell him. My partner's like, turn around. I said, yo, we gave a high price and he agreed. Something doesn't add up. He's like, well, it doesn't hurt to try. Let's try. Turn the car around. We come here. So Zalman's like to Reem, send me your wallet, because the money was in there. She sends the wallet to Zalman. Zalman says to our boy, we have a guy in crypto. He's like, there's no money in there. It's fake. So we call Reem. So I said, I knew it. I freaking knew it. It makes no sense. Reem didn't know. We call Reem. And we said, Reem, I'm sorry to tell you, the money you have in that account, $250,000, is not even real money. Yeah. She was on the way to Dubai that day. It was right before jeweler's break. So it was July. Sorry, it was July. I don't believe. I said, Reem, check your account. Account zero. Shh. So what we did is we called the cops to set them up. So he was supposed to come. So we had the whole precinct in our store, outside the store in 15 West, waiting for him to show up. The guy figured something was wrong. He never showed up. Reem came. It was like 8 o'clock at night. Now she has a flight to Dubai that day, and she was hysterical. The guy screwed me, the guy screwed me, the guy screwed me. This is a real story behind it. We have all the proof, all the footage. So we almost got scammed for that. But thank God we were smart enough to check the wallet, because something didn't make sense. And if somebody agrees to our price right away and says, I want us on crypto, that shit became.
So you really just gotta do your due diligence at the end of the day.
So we're the ones who actually told Reem that she got scammed. She didn't even know. She was already almost at the airport. I felt so bad, and the cops came, and she was crying. I said, Reem, calm down. We'll try to figure it out. I don't know who these guys are. I don't even know what's their name, and I don't even care, but it's dangerous.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's dangerous.
I mean, more with social media, AI, technology, it's only gonna get better, so.
It's gonna get worse too.
Yeah, saying it's gonna get easier to.
Easier, correct. It's gonna get way easier to scam.
Okay. All right, let's get into a couple rapid fire questions right now.
Go ahead.
Okay. Cars or watches?
Both.
Both?
Yeah.
Gotta choose one.
Both, man. That's my 2 addictions. I mean, watches, I have them all the time, so I don't care. Cars is my addiction. I don't spend money on vacations, on restaurants. I don't care. I care about cars.
Okay. Favorite watch?
Mine?
Yeah.
Wow. RM 2704 right now.
Okay. Favorite car?
The Cullinan.
Which one?
The Cullinan, Rolls-Royce
Oh,
Cullinan.
okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. If you only had $20,000 right now, what would you buy?
Wow. Try to get a Pepsi.
Who's your favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete of all time? Michael Jordan.
Okay. Favorite jeweler?
My favorite jeweler. The WatchKingNYC's.
Yes, sir. Favorite sports team?
I mean, the Jets. Unfortunately.
That's tough. That's tough life. And you have Jets season tickets
Nets.
also?
Only Nets. Only Brooklyn. God bless Brooklyn. They treat us like family there.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn is where we have season tickets. Love that team. Love the atmosphere. Love the people in Brooklyn. I mean, the whole thing is family. But yeah, Jets is like, I would say Jordan and Brady are my two top. Even though I'm a Jet fan, but what Brady did was incredible. He was nobody.
Yeah.
Why do you think athletes and celebrities love watches and jewelry?
That's all we have as men.
Yeah.
Right. We don't wear makeup. We don't have bags. We don't have jewelry. I mean, now we do, but I'm saying, you know, most men don't wear jewelry.
Yeah.
Women have their dresses, their makeup, their bags, their spa days. What do we have? My dad always told me you got to be a little better looking than a monkey and have money and you got to learn how to. You got to have a sharp tongue, and you'll be fine.
For sure.
Nice watch now.
Yeah.
Watches. Listen, when I started, I remember ADs would beg you to take watches. Hulks were 7,000. I couldn't even sell them. Batmans were 30 off. APs were 35 off across the board. Richard Mille was nothing. My first Richard Mille, I paid 86,000. ARM 3501. This was 2014. ARM 3501. I paid 86,000. I sold it to Be On Time. I remember, and I was like, wow, somebody bought a Richard Mille. I remember I bought a Bubba, white Bubba for 75,000. I put an AP skeleton on a strap, 39mm for 22,000. 15,400, like the non-chrono APs, 12,000. Today they're 40, 50,000. It's insane.
Crazy.
Patek's. I remember I was on a boat to Macau. So I was in Hong Kong for 7 years. That's how I built the business. Yeah.
You lived in Hong Kong for 7 years.
I lived in Hong Kong for 7 years. This we'll get to it if you want another time or whenever you want. I was in a boat to Macau. I used to be a big gambler. So I was boat to Macau. A guy called me, like, I have a 5711 white dial for 22,000. The watch is 115,000.
Yeah.
I was debating if I should buy it because I know I might get 22.5 or 23,000. Double sealed, right? Patek has that double seal back in the day. It's like a virgin, right? In our Jewish people marry a virgin, like, oh my God, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And I was debating, and today it's $120,000 watch.
That's crazy.
Go explain it.
What do you think causes the rise of some of those prices?
COVID did, demand.
Yeah.
People made money and they started spending it, and watches became a thing. Is it an investment? No. I never say it's an investment. It's never an investment. Nothing's an investment besides real estate and you and your health and your mental health. That's an investment in yourself. Will you lose money? Probably. Will it go up? It could. But it's not guaranteed. 2 things in life are guaranteed. You know what it is? Death and taxes. That's it. Everything else is iffy.
Okay.
That's the watch business in a nutshell.
Yeah. Tell me a little more about Tokyo, about Hong Kong.
Hong Kong was
Yeah.
beautiful, man.
Why'd you move
So I'll
there?
tell you what happened. I started in 2009, and then in 2012, watches weren't as hot as it was now. I shifted to diamonds. There was a time in India where you would go and buy diamonds blindly. So what do you mean blindly? They have GIA, right? You never heard of GIA? So that's like the biggest grader for diamonds. They didn't have it in India 12 years ago, 15 years ago. What we did is we used to go buy stone. Let's say you and him are a gemologist in India and you think it's an H color. All right, so you put HVS2 or HSI1. I come and I look at it and I think it's a G color. So I'll take the risk, buy the stone. If I hit the upgrade, I'll make 25,000, 30,000, whatever the hell it was then. If I don't, I'm stuck. I'll lose 5,000. So the risk reward was there, right? Made a lot of money then. And one day I went to Atlantic City. This was in 2013. I went one day to the casino, went to the Trump Hotel, sat at the baccarat table, and made like $18,000. I said, I'm gonna fly to India and I'll smell like shit every month just to buy diamonds. I said, I'm gonna come here every day. And I ended up losing everything. Lost my house, my cars, lost everything gambling, lost 100 pounds. I was 220 pounds at the time, 240. I lost everything.
Okay. How'd you get back?
I went to therapy, rehab, and I started watches again. So what happened was I knew a guy who had watches in Canada. This was 2014 now. And I had no money. Zero, bro. I was broke. I owed money. I was fucking debt like crazy. I went to my first partner in the business when I came back was Sono, Belgium. Amazing guy. I said, yo, I need some money. He's like, why? I said, listen, there's watches in Canada where I can buy and I can flip it here and make money. So you put the money, we'll split 50-50. He's like, the watch business? I said, yeah, I did it before Dime. He's like, no way, I want to get in. Let's get in. I said, all right, let's get in. He's like, I'll put all the money, we go 50-50. I said, okay. He's like, bro, go to Hong Kong. That's where the place is at. So I went on a plane, went there. Market was crazy then, like, because nobody was there then at the time. Besides the old timers, one or two guys, but I would go every month. I decided I got an apartment. I lived there for 2 weeks, came back here, lived there for 2 weeks, came back here. So I did is I bought, came back here, unloaded to everybody here for pennies, 2-3%, got COD, went back and did it for 10 years, bro. I did it for 7 years till COVID. I remember it was February 2020. Patrick Mahomes just won the Super Bowl. I'll never forget it. That was my last flight to Hong Kong before COVID.
That's crazy.
They said you got to bring face masks. There's an outbreak in China. I'll never forget. It was February 2020. That night, that's when Patrick Mahomes won his first Super Bowl. I think they're playing the Rams. It was or something. Was it? I don't remember. We go last time to Hong Kong, and they're like, either you leave. So I was gonna go and stay for 2 weeks, do my shit. Like, you have to leave by tomorrow, or you might get stuck here. So I was like, I'm out. And then Hong Kong shut down for 3 years. Now Hong Kong is like, everybody goes. So I stopped going. I stopped going last year. Yeah, Hong Kong was wild.
That's crazy.
Macau.
You speak the language at all?
A little bit, not much. It's very hard to understand, very hard to speak. But that's the market. That the big players are there. Everything comes from there. People can say, 80% of the inventory comes from Hong Kong. China, Hong Kong. They're the daddies in the watch market.
And so when you went through that crazy time where you went broke, you lost everything, what got you out of it? Like
God, man.
God.
I swear to God. I remember I went to my dad. So I was not religious anymore. My dad's a religious man. My dad's sitting right there and I'm sitting right here. We're sitting on the table and I'm crying. I'm like, Dad, I'm done. Well, either two, I'm gonna hurt somebody or I'm gonna go to jail. What am I gonna do? I have to pay. Remember, he sat there, stroked his beard, and he's like, son, don't forget you have a father in heaven you can talk to every single day. He got up and left. And I was sitting there. I'm like, oh my God. So I went. It was 12 o'clock at night. One of my old people I used to learn with, my chavrusa, used to tell me, go do what Bodedut means. Go talk to God in nature at midnight or after at night. Go to a park, just talk. So I did. I have nothing else to lose. What are you gonna do? I said, God, help me. I need to come back in life. I need to pay people. I'm gonna get back my life back on track. And next day I was here. My boy Roman saw me and he's like, you look sick, man. Here's a therapist, go see him. Dr. Mizell, I called him. And next day I was in therapy and then we went to rehab, outpatient rehab. So I would go twice a week and he would test me on it to see if I was doing it. First 2 months I lied straight through my teeth and he sat me down. I was like, listen, bro, I'll take all your money, but you gotta want it. It's the hardest 2 years of my life. But yeah, but people are like, oh, you're flipping coins, it's gambling. It's not, and I'll tell you why it's not. I flip my profit. So either I'll make 2,000 or I'll break even. But I'll never, the only time I lost real money was with David Dobrik. I lost 100K, real money. Came to my store on Shabbat on Saturday, which we're not supposed to work as, right? We're not supposed to work on Saturday. He called me. Exactly. The story's crazy. He called me. He's like, I'll be there at 4 p.m. Can you come? I said, listen, can you come Sunday? No. Can you come Monday? No, I'm out Saturday night. I said, fuck it. I told my partner, let's go. Like, Shabbat, let's go. It's Dobrik. We went. He's like, wow. We were right here at 55, and we had a booth. We had a window right here before the store. He saw 5711 Tiffany Patek. He's like, I want this. How much? I said, 200,000. He's like, nah, you're crazy. Then I'm looking at him, I'm like, you know what? You want to flip 100 or 200,000? I thought he'll say hells no. So I said, it's good for content. He said, yeah, I'll do it. And now what are you going to do? I'm not going to back out. We're men. All right, let's do it. My partner's like, you crazy. We're deciding, should we do it? Should we do it? He said, we'll do it. And he's like, guys, if you want, I'll pay you 150 and we won't gamble. My partner's like, you know what? Screw it. You already said it. We're here. We already paid $290 for this watch. So we're already down 90,000. COVID, that watch was $290. I had an offer $330. I said no. Greed, man. I was greedy. Greed kills. Huge lesson on greed also. So he's like, I'm already down 90,000. Why don't we just, who cares? Either I'll be down 90, I'll be down 190. Doesn't matter. That watch is dead sitting in the inventory anyway. He said, flip it. I said, Zalman Yeshua is like, flip it, bro. I don't care. We're doing it for the content. Let's flip it. Then he turns out like, bro, Shabbat today, we're for sure gonna lose. Dobrik called heads. Yeah. That you never call before you flip. Because I know there's a little bit of an edge. If he calls heads, I put the coin on tails facing up, and I figured it's gonna come back to tails. He called heads. I put the coin on tails. I showed Dobrik. I said, listen, I'm flipping right now. It's Mazal. I said, flip, fell on heads. Crazy. He got even worse. Guy walks in with Omega right after we lose 100K. Yeah. Omega, C-Mass, or the hell it is. Also Shabbat already. It's still Saturday. If you guys are listening, we're not supposed to work on Saturday. For us, it's a rest day, and God said that we shouldn't work. He came with a C-Master, Omega. I don't know, C-Master, what the hell it's called. And he's like, you want to flip? 5 or 7? 7,000, I'm going to bury that. I'm going to be buried. I said, bro, I sold 100K to Dobrik. Like, come on, let's flip. I flipped. I lost 7,000. He felt so bad. Like, just give me 6,000. I'm like, thanks. That was the biggest flip ever. And that was it a mistake? No, because from Dobrik, I got a lot of people who were like, and he'll talk about it for the rest of his life.
ROI on it, probably.
He wears that watch, and he's like, I screwed these 2 Jewish guys in New York, and I won 100K. And I was happy. He's like, I'm so sorry. You were so nice about it. I said, David, don't worry. You're the one who said we can settle nice. We said no. It's on us. Don't be sorry. He wired like this, but they all wire like right away. They got whatever issues. He wired on Monday. It was Saturday. He's like, Monday I wired. Could you give me the watch? I said, what are you gonna screw me? Another 100,000? Like I wasn't. People like, how'd you give him the watch? I said, what are you gonna screw me? This guy's Dobrik's. I like some, you know. That was the only time we lost real money on a flip. I never flip double or nothing. People come to me every day. You want to flip on this watch? Were you there on Friday? Rafa, were you there Friday when a guy came and he left the store? Sorry? Were you there that Friday when a kid came from Boston? He wanted to flip. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to lose money. And he's like, okay, let's flip. We're going to flip for a GMT rupee or two-tone. He was willing to pay $19.5. My cost was $19. I said, all right, I'll get it for you $19.5. I started making $500. Like, let's flip 21 or 17. I said, bro, I'm not in the money. Look, I'll break even or I'll make a little bit. But I'm not going to lose money. I have rent. I have employees. I'm not gonna buy this. No problem. Don't buy it. So I'll never flip like that, like double or nothing, or if it's below my cost, I won't do that.
Was that the most amount of money you ever lost on a deal?
100,000. Yeah, it's 190 technically, but to David it was 100K. Yeah, I was greedy. That's why.
So how does
my
greed?
Mistake.
Yeah,
I wanted to put 10 fingers in my mouth. So my dad always taught me. He's like, listen, son, don't be greedy in life. No, put 10. Doesn't fit. Put 5. 5 will fit nice. 10, you'll choke. Don't be greedy. And I was greedy on that Patek for $330. It was making so much money. But I'm like, you know what? No.
So how do you see greed playing a role like in this industry and really in general for anyone listening out there?
Greed is a killer, man. I was taught your first offer is your best offer. Sometimes it's true, sometimes it's not. Most of the times it's true, right? You get high on the item. If a guy offers you something and you're making money, you want to make a little. It's like in a casino. Why do we lose? You put $100 right now and you're playing blackjack. You win 100. How much money did you make on your money? 100%. And the ROI is huge. You get greedy. I want more. You want more? Come, we'll give you more. And then they take your pants and then they give you more. Same thing in our business. Yeah, sometimes you'll undersell something by 1,000, 2,000. It's fine. It's always fine. Always leave room on the table. When I was selling wholesale, always leave room on the table for the next guy to make money, because then he'll buy from you again. Right? If you're gonna be greedy, you're gonna get all the money. So we believe here is who has a heavy hand, who has a good hand. Right? It's all about the hand. It's all about the muzzle in the watch. It's all about the luck. So if you sell me a watch tomorrow and I sell it 3 days later and I made a couple of dollars, I'm gonna buy from you again. But if you sold me a watch and I have it for 2 years,
This episode is brought to you by Smash House. If you're in the jewelry game, you know nothing can stop you from getting your next mazal. When you need a refuel, you need something that actually hits. That's where Smash House comes in. Smash House is serving up perfectly smashed burgers with crispy edges, juicy centers, and flavor that'll power you through the day. To find a location near you, look up smashhouseburgers.com. That is smashhouseburgers.com.
inventory, when you walk in, I'll never buy from you again. So it's how you give it to somebody. With wholeheartedly, you're happy for him, you're excited for him, so you give it to him, right? That's how it works. That's how it's supposed to work.
Tell me a little bit more about mazal. Obviously, that word goes around a lot out here. When did that start? What does it mean? Explain it.
Mazal started, it was from the Diamond District. Basically, it's a contract, it's a binding contract verbally. Yeah. And that word means everything. And if you break that word, people won't work with you anymore. But it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that not everybody is loyal in this business. It's unfortunate, but it's part of life, right?
Yeah. So people really they work by their word here.
Not really.
No, but that's what it's supposed to be.
It's supposed to.
Yeah. Okay. If I'm going to buy a watch tomorrow, obviously you guys said you do a lot of education for your customers. If I'm going to buy my first watch tomorrow, what are you telling me?
Depends on the budget. 10K by a sub. Right? Somebody comes for 17,000, wants to buy a two-tone Datejust. It looks nice. I said, yeah, but it's a Datejust. It's never going to go crazy. Buy a Batman. You never know what's going to happen in 10 years. Look what happened to the Hulk. Regular Batman from the 10 years ago, the older ones, they were 7,000, 6,500. Today, they're 15, 14K. You never know. Yeah, Datejust looks nice when you go to the club. Yeah. It's a two-tone. It's flashy. You're attracting the girls. Whatever the hell you want to do with it. End of the day, if you don't care, that's when you buy the two-tone, the iced out, whatever you want. But if you care and you want it to be investable, as they say, which is not, but could be, buy a sport model. That's what I always say. And you guys are like, no, I want a two-tone rose gold Wimbledon for 20K. All right. Let's go burn your money somewhere.
So what's the biggest mistake people make in buying luxury watches?
The hype, man. They believe in the hype. Yeah. They believe in the hype.
What does that mean?
He has it, so I want it. It's part of life, right? Same thing in houses. You go to a neighborhood, especially in our neighborhoods. Yeah. Oh, look at him. He has his house. I want this. And I want the bigger house. And the guy has the car. And I want the car. And he has the suit. I want the suit. He has this. I have that. It's a copycat.
Yeah.
Got to be a leader, man, not a follower.
So how do you live as a leader?
It's in you. It's in you. You make it. You make the trend. You make it. Nobody wears this, bro.
Yeah. What's your favorite thing to wear?
Me? My jewelry, bro.
Yeah. Those right there?
Yeah.
What are those?
All lab. Yeah. Only lab, baby. It's all lab. It's beautiful. Is it flashy? Yeah, but I don't.
What's your opinion on lab versus natural?
Oh, lab all day.
Yeah? Why?
Yeah. I gave this example 1,000 times. I'm going to say one example, and if it's too sensitive, we'll do another one, okay? You'll tell me you know better. People say lab is fake, correct? Right. My natural is from mine. I'm going to give you an example. There's 2 ways to have children, right? What are the 2 ways? Intercourse or through IVF, right? Some people, unfortunately, can't have children. You inject a shot into the mother with the sperm, the egg, and the baby comes out the same way, or from the stomach, from whatever it is. End of the day, is it a baby? Yeah. Both are children. Doesn't matter how you were born. Lab and natural. Natural comes from the ground. Lab is made in a laboratory. End of the day, the same result. A diamond comes out. Makes sense. It's 100% sense. I was sitting with my dad the other day. We got close now after. We do podcasts now about religion and stuff. It's crazy. We do every Friday, actually. And he's like, no, but the problem is that the price point is not the same. Oh, he thought the lab is not chashuv, it's not important. The natural is, I said, why? Because the price point? So it's an illusion. Again, it's the illusion. If I put a lab stone and I make it more expensive than a natural, everybody's going to buy the lab because it has a price tag. If you want a 10 carat lab, it's 4 million, and a natural stone is $1 million. Where are you gonna go? People are gonna gravitate to the hype. That's what we're all sheep, bro. You gotta be the shepherd. You gotta be the boss. You can't be the sheep. You can't follow the trend, right? But like, oh, you're wearing fake. Okay, you're not educated. I'm sorry. Let me educate you. 8 out of the 10 people who come into my store to buy an engagement ring, I convince them to buy a lab, and I'll make more money selling natural. But why? So you're gonna get engaged tomorrow, right? You're gonna buy a 4 carat natural for your wife to be. So that costs, let's say, $50K. Throwing out a number. You want to upgrade and come in the future. How much do you think I'm going to pay you on that stone? $35,000, let's say, on a good day. How much you lose? $15,000. You buy a 4 carat lab for $1,000. Nobody knows the difference. You come with a tester, it passes as a diamond because it's a diamond. The only way you can tell it's not a diamond if you have a machine that turns red when you put the diamond. It's a $10,000 machine. You're not carrying it with you
To test if it's natural or lab grown.
And why are you embarrassed to say it's lab?
Yeah.
It's like, we're Jews. We get a discount. We get excited. I just got this at 30 off from Chanel. We get excited. Same thing with a lab. Everybody gets excited when they get a deal. Buy a lab. I tell the guy, how about you buy her a lab and buy her a Birkin bag? And she's like, oh, yeah, I love that idea. He's like, all right, I'll do it. Or buy her a nice rollie with it too. That's I might be wrong. I got bashed for it a lot of times, but I don't care. That's my beliefs. Everybody can believe whatever they want, right? Some people believe the earth is flat and some believe it's round. You believe whatever you want. Just don't shove it down my throat and I'll be fine. So I believe lab is the new wave. It's a smart investment. Yeah, but it's worth nothing tomorrow when you sell. Yeah, okay, so what? If you buy a lab and give it for $2,500, you'll get gold plus $100 a carat. You'll be fine.
Okay. So as an investment, you'd rather do lab over natural?
None of them are investable.
No.
Nothing is an investment, my brother. No jewelry, watch, cars. They're luxury.
Yeah. So what are you investing in tomorrow if you had $1 million sitting around?
Crypto.
Crypto?
Yeah.
Yeah, crypto over real estate?
Yeah.
Wow. Why?
I don't know real estate, so that's why.
Okay. Why crypto?
It's fun. It's gambling.
Yeah.
I get the rush bigger than him.
Yeah.
Like Bitcoin. We're losing so much money on Bitcoin right now. And I'm like, my partner's every day he wakes up. I'm like, bro, just forget about it. When you put that money in there, just make believe it's gone. That's what you're supposed to do as a gambler too, right? If you gamble to make money, most of the time you're gonna lose. People who gamble for fun are always the winners because they don't care. Here's $30,000, big deal. For me today, I'm like, no, like it hurts, so I don't go.
Yeah.
You don't gamble anymore?
Zero.
Okay.
Zero.
What was the craziest gambling story you ever had?
I pulled 6 ties in a row at the win
What does that mean?
in Baccarat. So there's ties.
Okay.
There's
And I never
Baccarat.
played.
Thank God. They claim it's the record. I don't know, but
Yeah. You won the
I
record at
pulled
the win.
6. Not money. I pulled 6 ties. So I wasn't even playing at the time. I was driving from my boy, who's a huge gambler.
Okay.
And he's like, Rabbi, they call me, that's my nickname, and my crew, they call me Rabbi. The Rabbi, pull the cards. I love this. I love to go and just smell the itch is there. So I'm addicted to it. It's always going to be there. The Rabbi, drive. I said, let me drive. So you have to peel the cards, and you peel 3 side, 4 side. You're sitting there peeling. Pull the tie 6 times. It's unheard of.
Wow.
Have to win.
What's your biggest advice to addiction, people out there that have addictions or
There's
struggling with
hope,
it?
man. First of all, talk to God, admit it, and there's help, and don't be shy. Don't be embarrassed. We have headaches. Are we embarrassed to talk about our headaches? Or our stomach hurts. Are we embarrassed? No. We feel sick. We have a flu. We're not embarrassed. Same thing with addiction. Addiction is a sickness which can be taken care of if you treat it the right way. And don't be embarrassed of it. It's okay. It's normal. It's part of. We're all addicts. Some are more than others. People have gambling. People have alcohol. People have whatever it is, drama. People have all food, right? God gave it to us for a reason. So I turned my addiction to this, to work. Is it healthy? No. We work a lot, but that's all we do is I work and I go home. I don't even go out nowhere. That's my chilling.
Yeah.
It's expensive, bro.
Yeah. How long is that course at work?
It's our second year. It's like $432,000 a year.
You guys do like business there? You bring client there?
So honestly, it's not worth it.
No. They also suck, so.
I'm never gonna tell you, yeah, I got a guy. I say it how it is, bro. It's not worth it. I just go because whatever. I don't think I'm gonna do it next year. I can't afford it anymore. It's a lot of money, bro. So I could buy a house. Literally, I could buy a house. This is good for CEOs, have hundreds of millions of dollars and they write-offs and they buy it and they give it out as advertising and whatnot. That's what it's good for. But You know, go to 10 games a year. It's fine.
Yeah. And tell me about the story that obviously, what was it, the summer that you got jumped at your house?
Yeah, bro.
Tell me about that.
It was crazy.
I saw it on Fox News.
It was July 23rd. And look how God works. So that day I had a 10 a.m. Zoom call with Mark Wahlberg production. They were going to make a series on TV about this watch thing. So I was getting all hyped up, and I was coming back from the gym, and I come out at 10 o'clock to go to my house, to go to my car to come to work. And I see a guy running behind me with a construction, the yellow shit they wear, the vest. Turn around, the guy with a mask. I knew, I said, I know I'm fucked. I already knew it. And he pulls out a gun. Now I was like, just whatever it is, it'll be a real gun. And it was a tase gun. So he shot it. So it's the ones that have the two metals, right? One hit me here, one hit me right here. I still have the belt. I still have the clothes I was robbed with. It's hung up at my house to remind me every day how lucky I got, I got tased. Now I feel my body in shock, and I'm gonna run back to my house. I'm trying to run, get out of there, No, I carry, so I have it with me in my bag. So the problem is when they tased, my bag fell on the floor. I wasn't gonna shoot him anyway. You can't. It's New York City. You can't do shit. I don't know why they even give us licenses, but you can't even shoot. Because he didn't have a deadly weapon. It's a taser, so you just take the beating and call it a day. Maybe we'll find him. Stupid ass city. I run to my house, and then one other person came out. So one was in the car, one other person came out. They dropped me on the floor. They took everything and ran. I didn't know any. Cops come literally a minute later. Why don't you get in the car? We'll go get him. All right, let's go.
And you got in the cop car?
Got in the cop car, back to the cop car, make a right turn. And God said, not today. Made a right turn. 10 seconds later, I got to the biggest car accident of my life. A car T-boned the cop car, which I was in the back of. Flew me into now. Mind you, the next day I have a 6 a.m. flight to David Dobrik's birthday. The 24th was a Friday. I have a flight. I think it was a Friday. I have a flight to Dobrik's birthday. Car hits me. The car T-bones us. Cop is getting married in August 1st or August 2nd. Broke his wrist. I dislocated my shoulder. Now I'm fucked. I'm in pain. My shoulder's here. I'm yelling. Car's totaled. Now that's on where I live. Robbers are gone. I'm already done. They couldn't even get worse. I live in the hospital, whatever. I call my partner, I'm like, listen, Z, I just got robbed. I just got into a big car accident. We have to go to LA. I need jewelry. They stole everything. Bring me jewelry. I was like, that's what you care about? I said, I need the jewelry. We're going to Dobrik's birthday. Bring the jewelry. I get to the hospital, 4 p.m. They let me go. They put it it goes back in. I come to work the next day, right? Come to work that day, 4 o'clock. I'm not gonna let it stop me, bro. Right? You can't let them win. Now I'm like, am I gonna fly? I'm in a split. I can't fly. So you know what? I'm gonna feel bad for myself. I'm gonna do it at home. Sit home and think about it. Got on a flight 6 a.m. Went to LA. I land. My office calls me. Jasmine, the girl here. She's like, Moshe, Fox 5 called. Fox 5, yeah. They saw the video of your robbery. Do you want to talk to you? Call Fox. Hi, this is whatever. We got your story. 2 options. Either you can cooperate and tell the story. We're just going to release it on our own terms. I call my PR guy. I'm like, what do I do? He's like, put him on the phone. I put him on the phone. They're like, yeah, just tell us what happened. He's like, do it. All right. Big deal. Fox 5 interview on the Zoom call. What's going to happen? Get on the interview. Boom. Went viral. Then ABC calls, NBC calls, 11 calls, everybody calls. Okay? It's all over Instagram now, TikTok. I didn't even post it. The video, you pussy, you this. They're like, now I did insurance scam, they're saying. First of all, I'm not insured. Yeah. I'm only insured on the carry, $500,000 if it's in my bag. They didn't take my bag.
So you didn't even get insurance on it?
I didn't get insurance. Out of $500K, we got $140,000. Not even, 130. So we're still down. Yeah. But of course, the internet start telling you scam, insurance fraud. That's the name they gave me. You did it for insurance. I'm going to jeopardize my life for 500. People are nuts. You can do 2 things. You can let it break you or it builds you, and it builds you. Yeah. I didn't care. I was all right. Any publicity is good publicity. Can you continue talking? Then Fox and Friends called. I was 6 a.m. live TV. Then Good Day called. Then it was like a whole thing. And then it just goes away. Right? Like everything else just goes away and you go on about your day. Am I still scared? Every day. I go home, I check my bag, and it's in my brain. No. I had security. So that day, I'm going to get religious now. That day, it's okay, no?
Yeah, let's do it.
That day, my friend called me. He's like, Rabbi Pinto's coming to my house. I want you to see him. He's coming only for me to my house. I want you to see him. I haven't seen the rabbi in maybe 20 years. I said, oh, no. He's like, please just come. You know, I go to his house. I sit down. The rabbi's like, I know you. You're the rabbi's son, blah, blah, blah. What happened? I told him what happened. He took my hand. He shook. He's like, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. It's you know, they say it's like, cleanse your sins, come out. Don't worry, don't worry. And he gave me this boost of energy. I'm not religious at all. I don't believe in religion, like, you know, but he gave something about him, sparked my soul, where I felt calm. I'm like, I'm leaving now. Should I leave? Should I go? Should I hire security? He's like, don't worry, God is with you. I'll pray for you. You'll be fine, I promise you. I said, should I stop doing social media? He's like, no, you're gonna go harder. They're not gonna break you. You're gonna post 3 times a day, every day, and you're not gonna stop. Promise me. I said, Rabbi, I'm not gonna stop. I have chills talking about it. I said, I'm not gonna stop. You got a plan? I go to LA. I hire security. I come back. August 7th. I remember this day like yesterday. The rabbi's right hand calls me. Rabbi wants to come to your house. Bring your dad and you. By yourselves. Don't bring anybody else. There's Reno Rabbi Pinto. There's 1,000 people. LeBron, Elvis, Kanye, go to him. My house? Yeah, he wants to come to your house. All right, come to my house. Come. August 7th, I'll never forget that day. He pulls up to my house. He comes in. Security's like, what's this? This is security. You don't need that. You don't believe in God? I said, you have God. Fire him today. Gone. I said, don't come back tomorrow. Here's your money. You're fired. He said, you don't need. He said, you have God. Every day talk to God. He's going to protect you. And if he decides something's supposed to happen, no security guard will stop you. I fired him. Never had security since. I never will. He's the man. I go to him. I talk to him every Friday. I was by him yesterday to get a blessing. And,
You got to bring me one time. I've never been.
oh, bro, that guy, that rabbi is just...
I got to get a blessing.
He's the godfather, man. You see,
I mean, he's spoken to everybody, LeBron.
people on their knees when they come. Billionaires on their knees when they come to him. Holy man. Yeah, this politics is rough. I don't care. For me, he accepted me for who I am. He understands. He doesn't judge. A lot of people judge, unfortunately, in our culture, in our communities. Oh, he looks like this. Look at him. He's a pony. I can go like this. He doesn't care. I went like this yesterday. I promise you. No. And I was embarrassed. I was like, can I get a yarmulke? And he's like, oh, it's okay. If you want, you don't have to wear. I said, no, Rabbi, I have to wear a yarmulke. I came to you, 1,000 people there. I'm embarrassed. His house, he has a beautiful house in Shul on 58th, in Park in Lexington. Bro, that house is sick. He's holy. And I think my soul needed closure, and he gave that day. Out of nowhere, God decided you're going to meet this rabbi, and he's going to be your new spiritual leader. I know. That gave me closure. Am I scared? Yeah. Every day. I come home at 12 o'clock, I check behind me, I check in front of me, I do rounds. It's scary, bro. I still smell him sometimes. Like, I remember his smell, his eyes. Yeah, it's traumatized. But it's okay. Listen, it's going to make you or break you. You guys keep on going. And he's the one who told me, you're going to go harder, and I promise you're going to be okay. And that's what we did.
And has it been, so what's been 8 months, 10 months since then?
July 23rd. So what are we now? March?
9 months.
A couple of months. 9 months.
Has it been since then?
Amazing. My God. That Robbie introduced me to so many amazing people, political, not political, and all of Fox were amazing. And I met so many people through Fox 5 now, and through it was a blessing in disguise. I promise it was a blessing. From every negative comes a positive, and that was, it was it worth it? I'm not gonna say worth it, but it was a positive came out of that negative. Thank God,
It always works out, yeah.
Always, man.
All right, so last question for you.
Go ahead.
For someone out there listening who wants to be successful in business, in life, what advice could you give to them?
Great advice. God is first, always. Talk to him every day. Second advice is be humble and be honest. Stand behind your merchants. You say you're going to do something, then do it. Don't say it just to please people. And don't believe the facade you see on social media. Don't believe it. All the cars, the money, the girls, and the day it's all garbage. And it's what name did you leave for yourself when you leave this world? Nobody cares how much money you have tomorrow. When you pass away, nobody says, like, oh, this guy is like the son of this. Oh, this guy's father helped people, gave people a chance, was honest, never screwed somebody, We see it right when I marry our kids. They don't care about it. The guy can have billions of dollars. The guy was a schmuck. Like, no, right? So kids today, unfortunately, believe in the social media hype and the facade, and we both know it's not what it is, right? Like seeing a chick on there, unfortunately, after bringing it up and they catfish you. We do the same thing in cars and lifestyle, and you know, I don't know if you want to post it, but I'll say it anyway. I get DMs, and if I see a DM, a guy is asking about a watch, and he's sitting in front of a private jet like this, I will not reply. I promise you. Nobody has to see it. If a guy sits there and like, you know, am I judging based on character? Maybe, but for me, it's different. I don't like.
If he's sitting in front of a private jet.
Yeah, sitting there stunting money on his ears like that. Like, that's not.
Yeah,
that's not for me.
You don't want to deal with that.
I don't. Why would you do that?
Yeah, it's not the people you want to deal with.
Yeah, just to help people in life. What's my purpose? They'll ask you. My dad was asking on the podcast, "What's your purpose?" So to help kids who, like me, who didn't have a future and became not something, but had a decent life.
For sure, yeah.
You know, and at least have something to look forward to every day. These kids today have nothing to look forward to besides TikTok and going out. That's why I do Squid Games with these kids now.
Yes,
Every day.
Yeah.
I do it every day now.
I love it, yeah.
It's a new series now. People are starting to copy me, but it's okay. We all copy each other.
That's
But it helps these kids, 15, 16, 17, 18, who want to learn something. Not all of us are meant for college. At least come here. You want to go out? Fine. Come here, make money, and go spend the money you made.
Yeah.
Right? We always have to get better. That's what I believe our purpose or my purpose. I always tell my dad I want to leave the world a better place than where we came in. The only thing we do is we help each other.
Yes, sir. Moshe Haimoff, the Watching NYC.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks
Thank you,
for
I
coming on.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man.